Hi Scorpio, here is a general look at your solar chart for July 2015, and there's new potentials in the wind until the 23rd. The sun is in an outgoing, expansive area for you, and that tends to boost the spirits and gets you thinking more enthusiastically about the future. So this is a good time to make plans or launch into a project, or indeed travel. Just get out of the routine box. That would be a good thing to do, and try out new things. We've also got Mars there in this outgoing, expansive area, and this means that you can leave behind this time of maybe inner pressure and begin to step into the light of more mental and emotional clarity. At key points over the transit, you will be reaching out for new horizons. This chimes in really well, this transit, with the position of Jupiter and Venus in your chart. And both of those two have been in long transits, or indeed Jupiter has been, but Venus is also in an extended transit there. So this is the time for you to be, particularly from the 9th onwards, thinking, expanding, about expanding and how you're going to do that, and practical ways, not overlooking the details, because, that's where both the devil and God are, in the details. But because I mention that because this energy is about the grand sweep, it's the eagle eye view, but of course we always have to deal with the details. So you'll tend to be thinking bigger though, and it is a good time for you to be doing that, as long as you are aware of whatever else you need to do to realistically to achieve this or that or the other thing. Or how it can be achieved, or how you can get to that distant horizon, whatever it is. So it could be a time for you to, as I say, push the envelope. A plan may be forming in your mind. There could be a breath of fresh air, not only because of what you're up to, but because it just comes in now. It's just like the timing of it. You could be seen more for your abilities to guide and teach, or indeed you could be sourcing that wisdom, that information from somebody else who guides and teaches you, or maybe it's a mixture of the two. But others could see you as the mentor, the informer, the sort of the counselor, or the other way around. You are either tapping into that part of you that's got the knowledge that others want, or you are tapping, picking somebody else's brains, or it could be a mixture of the two. There's more likely to be going on there. And then from the 23rd, the sun moves, but both the sun and Mercury are in there, expanding your mind. And also Mars means that this is the time for you to really put that energy into getting into more space, just opening your arms wide and taking a deep breath with things, and stretching yourself mentally and physically. And it's likely to be happening that you do get stretched mentally and physically. You need to put yourself in the right sort of environment. So if you've been sort of curled up in a little ball, especially you later Scorpios as well, you might be feeling a bit kind of like you've got muscle spasms, because you've been quite kind of maybe almost a bit wound up. And I say that because you have Saturn going back into the very, very, very later degrees of Scorpio. And I'll just give you the dates for those now, actually. You Scorpions born the 19th to the 23rd of November, or with from 27 degrees rising, you're going to be feeling that Scorpio energy the most. Now, Scorpio isn't necessarily an enemy of yours. It's actually a force, a vibration, which allows you to build from the ground up, and it's hard work. It really is hard work. So sometimes events will conspire against you, or you just be tired out by the sort of relentless repetitiveness of it all, because it does often work that way, Saturn, but just on the archetypal level, which is to say the kind of default of the chart, of the sun sign chart, Saturn is actually a really friendly planet to Scorpio. So with some of the signs, when Saturn comes into a challenging position, it really is very, very, very challenging. But Saturn it actually works quite well through Scorpio. It doesn't work too badly at all through Scorpio. So yes, it will mean you've got to surmount obstacles. You might get fed up with red tape, you know, that kind of thing. But it will mean that if you don't take your eye off the ball, that you keep plugging away at something that you want to get right, whether it's in your relationships, your job, your health, your place on the map, the piggy bank, whatever it is, that Saturn, on the one hand, will put the obstacles in the way. The Saturn energy is likely to... It's not the Saturn energy putting the obstacles, it's the Saturn energy making it more likely that obstacles that were lurking there already come up now. That's what it is, really, because Saturn has actually got our best interests at heart. They all do. It's just the way we play them, or we perceive them. So the Saturn energy, which is actually a very, very strong female maternal energy, which is quite strict, is flagging these things up and pointing out the weak bits in our plan or our life, you know, or a physical, or whatever it is. So this is for you to really get your attention, to focus and concentrate, not to fixate or obsess, because this tends to be a Scorpio thing, but to really not take your eye off the ball with what you want to achieve as you're building these new structures for your future. Because anything that happens under a strong Saturn transit, like the one you're having, will stand in good stead for years and years and years to come. Speaking of which, Jupiter and Venus are actually doing you a favor at the moment, really. Not that they have to, they're like that. But they are potential abundance, these two, and they are in your career area. So that does tend to mean new possibilities, new doors flying open, you know, something beckoning you in this direction, something beckoning you in that direction, like, okay, which one shall I choose? And only you can know that. You know, this is about your general life direction as well, the general trajectory of your life, as well as what you want to achieve over the next month or the next year. I mean, this is the general, because this one comes around once every 12 years with Jupiter. So, and Jupiter has a little way to run with this on into August. So, and again, for you later Scorpios, this is going to be almost like, I suppose for some of you, the crunch moment is, okay, am I going to proceed with this? Am I going to keep pushing this through? Am I going to give up now? Am I going to change it now? Am I going to change my attitude to this, or my perspective on this, which it might be the time for you to tweak something and rethink parts of something, but only you can know that. So it might be a little bit like that for you later Scorpios, because you have the Saturn energy about really focusing your mind and saying, okay, come on, wake up, smell the coffee, what's going on here, you know, and what do you really want. And then, of course, we also have this Jupiter energy, and both the Jupiter and Venus energy, which is very much on your side and is quite long-term. Venus will still be in there up until October. And this means that you can really get good people on side that are going to facilitate and underpin your achieving success in whichever way or area you want to achieve success. I mean, we can say it's the professional area, but we can also say just what's close to your heart in the way of goals and ambitions. So there is a tendency for somebody to be there as a support in that way. And if the one that's been there as a support in that way isn't the one you want, because, you know, without being selfish or spoiled, but they just might not have be singing from the same page as you, then with the Venus transit there, you're likely to find somebody else who is more kind of on your wavelength, you see, because the energy, the vibration is still, it's not got an opinion, it's not got a judgment, it's just an energy, it's vibrational weather. Okay, now, we also have this to look out for, that from the 10th, Venus is going to just cross paths with degrees with Saturn, which means that even though she is on your side, where authority figures or people in position to help you, or people in position of power, or people who yeah, are maybe like parents as well, people to whom you aspire in some way, okay? They are very much there to help you, but just from there, the 10th onwards, it might mean that there is more responsibility on you because of the professional area, or of the people and their requirements and their rules. You know, it might be done in a very friendly sort of way, but there's just more pressure on you, okay? So it might be a little bit like that. It might be that you've got a relationship with a professional female who is being, I don't want to say awkward, but I could say awkward. It's just not as smooth, all right? But it's not like all-out war, because in the underlying aspect is pretty okay. And then we have Saturn going across Jupiter from the 21st, and that might flag up something that was begun about 7 years ago, and that you decided upon about 7 years ago, and then now it's coming up for its first sort of test, really. It could be that, it could be like the consequence or the next stage of something that you did 7 years ago. And it's now coming up to be tested. But whatever it is, if you're feeling as though something isn't allowing you the scope to grow and develop in the way that you'd like, then there might have to be a bit of a rethink going on there. And that one's going on well into August. There could be a bit of a squeeze on opportunities for expansion, but it might mean that you are still expanding, and this will be professionally and with your goals and your general sort of ambitions in life, things that you really do want to the goals that you want to reach, you know, targets you want to hit. You just got to push harder. You just got to push harder and take more time at it. But however, if you go at it step by step, and keeping that kind of you know, kind of set to your jaw, as it were, and really, you know that you need to be doing this, because some of this energy is going to cause you to kind of sit back and go, okay, now, is this what I want? Is this worth doing it this way? Should I really consider doing it another way? Because you've got this not get out of jail free card aspect, but it is because you're not necessarily in jail at all. So that's not the right way to put it, but you do have these kind of get out or tickets to allow you to choose to be moving through life in a different kind of a way, or partly in a different kind of, you know, just improving one little aspect of it. And it might be to do with the outer image and how you are presenting yourself out there and what people know you as, and or it could be to do with your location. It could be to do with where you actually live, the domestic surroundings, family influences, that kind of thing. It might also be to do with that. It might be a slightly tenser time, by the way, between the 10th and the 14th because of a bit more pressure there, and but also you can make a breakthrough. So that runs between the 5th and the 14th. And that'll be because of Pluto and then Uranus. Pluto is very important, so particularly between the 5th and the 7th, actually. So if there is some resistance that you are hitting up against, you will have the opportunity to overcome that. You'll meet that challenge, you'll surmount that, you'll let that thing go. You might have to let a thing go there. It might be a little thing, just a key little thing, which then makes it oh so easy. Like the day we locked the keys in the boot of the car. And, you know, me finding a wire coat hanger and straightening it out and then bending it into the right shape, and then eventually finding a little weak piece in the rubber seal to get it up and through. And with a lot of holding of the breath and patience, it took about 2 hours. But then if I just bent it in just one, because you know, you got to learn as you go along with these things, because it's very difficult. You can see them tantalizing you there, tantalizing you, but they're on the other side of the glass. So it was just that one little bend. It's like they say, you know, just one horseshoe nail. And it might be that much of a thing you've got to let go of, but it's crucial. Okay, so it's like letting go of the idea it had to be straight. I got to bend it, you know. So there's a kind of example. And when you've done that, you kind of go, oh, well, maybe that was slightly painful, but oh my God, I do feel relieved now. I do feel relieved, because there's the breakthrough, and then here is the success coming in, and it can be like that. Okay, yeah, and I've mentioned Saturn to you, and also the very fortunate position of Jupiter opening new doors and allowing you to expand into very new areas. Also, Jupiter rules, by the way, teaching, teachers, it rules, yeah, and that is actually going through your career area at the moment. So some of you who've had leanings in that direction might be wanting to go that way a little bit more, and presenting you more yourself more like that. Somebody who's got some knowledge to share, either as a teacher or in another way. But also some of you might be thinking, okay, I really want to learn about this now, and I'm going to do it now. And okay, so that's it for July. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. And also this stuff is written up on my website, DianaGarland.com, and you might want to check it out, and I'll see you the next time.